fuck you up.
Surrender within 24 hours, or watch this world suffer the consequences.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Wonderful evening, I should say. Yeah, today we're going to be doing a breakdown, or I should say a tournament, a death match, if you will, of some of the Guntubers out there. Now, this is a list of my 32 Guntubers, so there were a lot of people that I had on here that I ended up eliminating or swapping out based on some feedback. It'll make a little bit more sense later why some of these people aren't on this list. But yeah, so before we get going, while you're here, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, because that is all free and helps us out quite a bit. Go ahead and comment literally anything down below if you are watching this later on. This is sponsored by no one. Well, maybe Gun Slaps. We'll see if we do a Gun Slaps ad during this video. But if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. That was Ben Stoger. Yes, Ben Stoger starts and ends, because spoiler alert, Ben Stoger is kind of my pick to win it all. It's kind of my pick. Kind of my pick. Yes, it was very high effort. Before we get going, that intro took way too long to make, to get all of the clips and faces and stuff together. So while I was out working the last couple of days, my wife actually compiled a lot of those clips. So shout out to my wife for doing like at least half of the work on the intro while I was out working. So that wouldn't have happened without her. So that was good. And Ian did fit perfectly. Yeah. All right. One thing I will say is Bear Arms says Paul Harrell, he actually smoked 2 dudes. Yes, I did get a lot of people asking for Paul Harrell, but it does seem a little weird to be putting him on a list while like super chats and stuff are coming in off of, didn't seem like cool. So he would probably clear the list too, to be fair. So it'd be unfair. So we had to nerf him by leaving him off. Right. All right. So, but to get started, let's go over the rules and how this is kind of going to function a little bit. Let's put this up there. So the rules. This edition of Guntuber Deathmatch is pistol only. Only pistol, right? Which is why Ben Stoger's kind of my pick to clear it. So pistol only. No secondaries, no throwables, no smoke grenades, no flashbangs, no frag grenades, nothing like that. No armor, as much ammo as you want, your pistol of choice, right? So you can have as many spare mags as you want, any sort of ammo, whatever it is, who cares? It has to be a handgun, not like a SBR or whatever if the ATF can't make up their mind what a pistol is. So, all right. Based Ben Stoger. Yes, exactly. All right, yeah. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, we won't talk about that. Try to keep the drama tonight to a minimum. But we even have a location. This is the floor plan. This is where they are doing battle. So to go over this a little bit, this is the map. This is actually a penthouse in France, in Paris. This is a very, very expensive penthouse in Paris. This is the actual floor plan. Now, the red X, let me get myself off the screen. The red X is for the red spawn point and the blue spawn point. So they both spawn, these are outdoor balconies. If we zoom in here a little bit, these are outdoor balconies in this very, very expensive suite or penthouse in France. Very, very expensive, very, very tight floor plan, which is why we're doing pistol only. Pistol only. Now, to give some more context to it, put myself back on the screen. This is a very, very upscale penthouse. This isn't the exact same penthouse, but this kind of gives you the vibe that we're going for here. This is where the fighting will commence, is in this area here. So it is a very, very tight penthouse. It does have some more open areas, like the living room, dining area. This area is pretty open, and of course you have the balconies as well. But on the bottom, this is incredibly tight back here. Very, very tight. And of course, it's 1v1. All right. Ian literally has a penthouse in Paris. I didn't know that, but maybe he has the home field advantage. Something else I should mention about the rules is that the way that this is decided is by you guys. I am not allowed to intervene. This will be done by Chat vote. 32 1v1 bracket. So we'll start it with the round of 32. I'll show you everybody that we have. And yeah, we will go from there. So if we go to this tab here and I show you, I have all the images here, and we simply, let's say Desktop versus me, and then whoever gets voted out, which will probably, oops, shoot, pressing too many buttons. There we go, which will probably end up being me in that scenario, if that were a match. But that is, of course, not a match as of right now. All right, remove, get that out of there, and remove. And I just grabbed random pictures of people, so these aren't supposed to be flattering images. All right. Let's go here. Now, to start out with, this is the bracket. Nobody is in there yet because this is going to be a randomly seeded bracket. So we're not, Ben Stoger's not going to be number 1 versus me, number 32. It's going to be a randomly seeded bracket, and then it'll kind of go from there. So in the chat here, I'm going to put up a poll about how many times should we hit the randomizer. And we'll do one more. There we go. Start poll. So that poll should be in the chat. I'll let that go for a minute or two. While we're doing that, I'll go ahead and get everybody in here. So you should have seen basically all of them in the intro, but I'll list them off. We have Garand Thumb, Lucas at T-Rex Arm, Hop, Brassfax, Blue Jean, Nutnfancy, Focus Trip, me, Brandon Herrera, James Reeves, Mr. Guns and Gear, Hickok 45, Micah Mayfield, 9-hole Henry, 9-hole Josh, Jerry Mitchellick, Reno May, Warrior Poet, John Lovell, Honest Outlaw, Ben Stoger, Ivan from Kit Badger, Ian from Forgotten Weapons, Milspec Mojo, who's also a fantastic shooter, Demo Ranch, PSR, Regular Guy Training, Admin, Humble Marksman, Magic Prepper, Deskpop, X-Ring, GB Guns, and last but not least was Ziga, because a lot of people wanted to see Ziga on here. So let me go ahead and grab that. We will go to participants, get rid of all of these. We don't need these. Bulk add the 32, copy and paste. Ga-da. Now, this is not the list because we're going to randomize it. This is just top to bottom. So 1v32 would be Garantham versus Ziga, but we're going to randomize it. All right. So 2 or 3 is basically winning on there. RTT says, how did Hunter Constantine not make the list, but X-Ring did? I almost added Hunter right at the end because I've actually met Hunter. He's a fantastic shooter. Probably would be a better, well, I don't know if a better fit. I've met X-Ring as well. Very nice guy from what I've met. He's a very good shooter as well. If you watch his 3-gun shooting, his competition stuff, his PRS stuff, very, very good shooter. Not just with the rifle, but with a handgun as well. For sure. Yeah, no Overton Windex. I didn't want it just to be a joke list where we just clown on, because I could have put in a bunch of people that everybody would have loved just to vote out round 1, which might have sped things up, actually, now that I think about it. So maybe that would have been a better idea to do. But you live and you learn. Let's see. There. Put on some light Age of Empires background music. No, yeah. I mean, that's just what it is. So, going back real fast, right before we hit the button, we'll be get it figured out. The rules. This is a 1v1 deathmatch between 32 Guntubers that I selected. This is my list of 32. Just people I know, people I like, some people I don't like. Just people in here that is kind of a good mix. The rules for this specific edition are pistol only, no secondaries, no throwables, no armor, unlimited magazines, and any pistol. So you can use your weapon of choice in this scenario. The environment is this penthouse in France. It is a very, very expensive, very, very nice penthouse. Let me show you a little bit, just so you get an idea of where it is. It is very, very nice. Nice place, nice place. All right, let's go back to here. I think that music might be a tad loud. Let's turn it down just a little bit. That's better. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so we are in this page. Can you guys see me? I'll take my face off real fast. That's the opposite of what I wanted. There we go. Okay, so we are going to hit the randomizer 3 times because that won with 48% of the vote. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, boom. that is your list. So starting off, we have Blue Jean versus Jerry Mitchell. Milspec Mojo versus Nutnfancy. That's a rough matchup. Ivan versus GB Guns. That's another good one. Ian versus Ninehole Josh. That's a great one. PSR versus Despop. Also fantastic. Demo Ranch versus Hickok. Also fantastic. Hop versus Ninehole Henry. That's an interesting one. Reno May versus Honest Outlaw. Sorry. Ziga versus Micah Mayfield. RGT versus X Ring. Grand Thumb versus Humble Marksman. James Reeves versus me. Ouch, I'm out in the first round. Damn. Anyways, Ben Stoger versus Brassfax. Well, at least I won't be alone in being out in the first round. John Lovell versus T-Rex Arms. That's a good one. Mr. Guns and Gear versus Brandon Herrera. Also good. And then Admin versus Magic. I feel bad for Magic in that. All right. It's going to be a rough one. Let's go ahead and start out. So, do I just start? Where's the start button? Is there a button? Do I have to press a button to press start? Bracket status pending. Settings start. What? Team participants. Yeah. Am I silly? Is there a different way? Bracket HQ collapse. Bracket information. Do I have to start it here? Well, let's get rid of that for a second. Oh, yeah. I'm not logged in. Let me log in real fast. That's my bad. Silly John. Shoot. Awkward key typing. Yeah, Magic says that he is kind of. I'm in the same boat. I'm also screwed, so don't feel too bad. First round. I was hoping to be out the first round, to be fair. All right. Let's see if that works so that I can get this rolling. Mojo claps everyone. Mojo is very good. Mojo, if you guys aren't familiar with Mojo, we'll talk about each person as we go. Mojo is very, very good. Not to mention he has a lot of experience being a police officer. So it's still loading, so give it a moment, gentlemen. Molly Boggy says, I had to start from the beginning and that intro was cursed. Yes, it is. Good start. All right. Okay, sweet. So here we have it. We're good. Save that. All right, so we can put that back up now. All right. Starting off, match number 1. Start tournament button. Yeah, I'm stupid. All right. Untitled bracket. This is the Guntuber Deathmatch. All right. Single elimination. Shoot house. I'm typing with a wrist brace on, so my typing's a little off. At least that's my cope. All right. Let's go ahead and get this one started. And I'll talk about them while we're doing the poll. So it's going to be Blue Jean versus Jerry. I think I know who's going to win. Start poll. Now, keep in mind, this is pistol only. So the things that matter here are going to be like your personal skill level, number 1, tactics, physicality, because remember, this is a very, very tight environment, very, very tight environment. So there is a theory or a scenario in which everything else is equal, in which physicality can actually win it for you. If, for instance, you both walk around a corner, something stupid like that. I think tactics are going to be very, very important. Tactics probably the most important, then personal skill level, and then, your physicality is going to be last. Because you can pick any handgun that you want, I think everybody is going to be relatively even in terms of their loadout. But if we look on here, sorry, son was just walking in. It looks like Jerry Mitchlick is absolutely cleaning that currently with 80% of the vote. I think Jerry might be a favorite to go all the way. Actually, shoot, I'm supposed to do it over here, silly me. Oh, we'll do it on the next one. We'll skip that. All right. Mil-Spec Mojo versus Nutnfancy. Now, I like this matchup from a meta standpoint because I find it very funny to think about these two going together, polar opposites. You have like 6'4" Nutnfancy versus 5'5" Mil-Spec Mojo. Mil-Spec Mojo being fast, being aggressive, and then Nutnfancy just spouting off like this sage old man wisdom and like talking about SAWC and how what gun was it? The Walther was like a sniper's pistol. Just quotes like that. Let's see. Nutnfancy. I could spell. Versus Mojo. Mojo is going to do really well here. All right, so that's up there. While we're doing that, we're supposed to be over here in this tab. So Mil-Spec Mojo versus Nutnfancy. Nutnfancy's like, my personal favorite. I've never met either of these gentlemen, so I don't know them in real life, but I've watched a lot of Nutnfancy content over the years. All right, where are they? Let's see. Where's Mojo? Mojo and Nutnfancy. Where are you, gentlemen? Nutnfancy versus Mojo. Hello? Where did he go? Where did he go? Why don't I have Mojo on this list? What the heck? Or am I just not spotting him? Is he too small for me to notice? I must have somebody on here twice. Oh, no, there he is. He is right there. I just missed him literally twice. He was literally right next to each other. Unbelievable. Nutnfancy is OG, but Mojo clears. Yeah, that's kind of where I go on the thing too. Oh, you know what? I forgot about Sage Dynamics. You just brought that up to me. Yeah, Sage Dynamics would have done really well on this list. Nutnfancy, you know what? Nutnfancy is a lot closer than I thought. I don't think he is as close as skill level as the chat is making it out to be, but he's 63-37, so it is close. Nutnfancy would take 3 hours making plans and prepping for the fight. See, I feel like he would be in there cracking jokes the whole time. It's like, where you at? Where you at, guy? Stop confusing Mojo with Henry, you racist. You know what was funny? There was one of the face swaps that I was doing, and it would not pick up Henry's face. It kept going onto the other person. And so, like, that's not a me thing. So I think the AI is racist because it actually wouldn't pick up Henry's face. So I had to, like, zoom in and get it, like, cropped so that it would actually be, like, just his face in the frame so that I could get it to swap. So I'm pretty sure the AI is racist, not me. Well, maybe both. I mean, who knows, right? All right. 64%, but it does look like Mojo is clearing that, as we kind of expected. So Nutnfancy, your sage wisdom was wonderful. I enjoyed all of your content, but sorry, sir, it's over for you. All right, sorry, I almost clicked on Nutnfancy. Force of habit. This is a great one. Ivan Kit Badger versus GB Guns. Ivan goes to a lot of training courses. GB, Graham, he also does a lot of training courses. He's a big advocate for training. Handguns is basically all he does. They both have military experience. Am I not sharing this on the screen? My bad, guys. They both have military experience. So this might be just more of a straight up popularity contest. I've met both of these people. Where is Ivan? I ran into Ivan at SHOT Show and just chatted with him on the showroom floor for a little while. Great dude. Very, very chill. Good to his kids. Good dad from all that we can tell. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about either of these two people as people, but it's going to be a little bit of a popularity contest. So, as I forgot to do that, let me go ahead. Ivan versus GB Guns. Put it up. Boom. Did it go? Who has the better beard? Well, I think GB Guns. I think GB Guns definitely has the better beard. I mean, now Ivan can grow a really good beard though. So I guess it depends on what time of year. Ivan hands down. Shekel Warlock asks, where's Dugan Ashley? I didn't put him on the list. I could have, but training is the big gay. Exactly. Shoot at noises in the dark. That is correct. Well, only recognize even. Yeah. Clint Smith. Clint Smith would have been like another OG to put on there. Ivan, man, oof. Ivan is right now at 80% of the chat right now. So it is looking like GB Guns is out. Although I think that's kind of to be expected just because Ivan has a bigger channel. And his content's very good. Don't get me wrong there. Content is very good. Share this tab. So we have Jerry versus Milspec. That's like the matchup right there. That's actually the best matchup here in terms of capability and popularity. It's a funny one. But Ian, Forgotten Weapons versus 9-hole Josh. Now, Josh, if you are not familiar with Josh is actually was a professional 3-gun shooter for a long time. He is a fantastic shooter. Ian, of course, is a very good talker, very experienced what's the word? He's an expert in his field, right? Of like niche weaponry, all this other sort of stuff. But he's also a very good shooter as well. He runs a lot of competitions. He sets up a lot of competitions, does a lot of brutality events, that sort of thing. So no slouch in that regard either. In terms of skill, though, I would put the professional 3-gunner ahead. Sorry. Got to end that poll before I can start a new one. Put that up here. Start a poll. If I were going to be betting money on this, I would bet money on Josh. He's younger. He's probably a little bit more physical. I think he's a little bit more skilled. Now, this is in France. This is, of course, at a penthouse, right? This is the floor plan of here. So you could say that Ian has the home field advantage having a French penthouse. That's true. Joe Dorval says you're forgetting that Ian is literally Jesus and can just smite Josh. Very right. All right. Yeah, if we're talking about a fight, Ian would pull an obscure LMG or something. Well, that would be cheating because this is pistols only. Yeah, Josh is the better shooter, but Ian has the home field advantage. All right. Josh is up with only 57% of the vote. And that tells you how strong people like Ian, right? He's made a lot of really good, really informative content over the years, for sure. I don't think it really matters. Bull One says, but does Ian have to clear a right side peek as a left-handed shooter? I don't think it matters with handguns. It's not much. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's true. I mean, I guess technically you could use an auto pistol. I don't know if an auto pistol would help you very much, though. You spawn a long ways away from each other. Machine pistols, not like your Uzis or things like that. Like a generic semi-automatic handgun. That's kind of what we're thinking, right? I mean, you could go with like a revolver hand cannon, something like 500 Smith & Wesson if you really wanted to. In range versus tactical girlfriend. Yeah, girlfriend. When? Yeah, not sure about that one. I left that one off the list for some reason. I don't know why. All right, but Josh did barely clear. Barely cleared with 53% of the vote. But a win is a win. 9-hole Josh moves on. Very good shooter. PSR versus Deskpop. Also fantastic. PSR and Deskpop. I've talked to both these guys, actually. PSR is a good shooter. He's pretty small. He's shorter than I am. He's like 5'5". But, I mean, he's in good shape. He works out. He's got cardio. He does competitions, that sort of thing. I know that Deskpop is also probably about the same level of physicality, works out a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. As in terms of skill, though, I'm actually not sure. Now, the real question is, which one of them wears tighter pants? Which one of them wears tighter pants? I think that's the important question we all need to know. Ooh, that's a good name. Let's see. Now I got to find Deskpop. And PSR. PSR is easy to find. And where did I hide Desktop at? There he is. All right. PSR versus Desktop. Cogito ergo sum. Cogito ergo sum? Are you trying to get me to say something with that name, or does that mean something? But thank you for the $5. He says, you should call this the first annual Paul Harrell Memorial Guntuber Deathmatch. Yeah, and we could do different versions of this too, because you can do the same thing, put in a different environment, put in a different rule set, whatnot, you know, do like a rifle one over like a cityscape or something a little bit more rural. If this was like a PRS style match, like a sniper v sniper match, the list would look very different, right? And I think, you know, you would see certain people stand out a little bit more for sure. So, I mean, this is kind of a fun idea that you can do a lot of different variations of it on. Two shorties fight for the title. That's right. PSR is up 55%. Now, Desktop's not short, though, I don't think. I think he's like almost 6 feet. Which one's Christian Sailor? See somebody bringing that up in the chat. Yeah, Christian Sailor. No, if he's if he's an actual like competition shooter, he clears me easily. Ooh, if PSR uses the Glong, he gets a +10 speed boost, but a -10 to perception. Very true. Very true. I think PSR has got this now with 56, 57% of the vote. Moving up. So Desktop out first round. Very sad. But I know it's going to happen to me too, so I can't feel that bad. All right. And PSR, the winner there, moves on to fight the winner of Demo Ranch versus Hickok 45. Hickok 45. Anyways, so two OGs in the game. Absolute OGs in the game. I mean, I think Hickok kind of like started doing the pistol stuff. What did I say? I literally forgot what I just said. Yeah, Demo Ranch. That's what I thought. Okay. A Demo Ranch or Hickok 45. The old man's still got it. Let's see here. Now I just have to actually find them. They're probably staring right at me and I can't see them. Demo, of course. Now, where did Hickok go? Let that poll run. I see Hickok is taking an early lead. There he is. With his trusty revolver. I mean, Demo Ranch he's not necessarily as much of a gun tuber per se as he is a entertainment who like sometimes has guns in his content, right? He does a lot of silly things. So he's not like the most serious channel. I don't think everybody has to be the most serious guy out there, but he definitely is one of the less serious channels out there. Hickok is much more kind of straightforward gun reviews, and then he has his like talks channel as well, where he just kind of talks about random topics and whatnot. Prodigal Corpse Inc. says Hickok on a bike with an Uzi is terrifying. That is funny. Hickok is big. Hickok is like 6'6", 6'7", something like that. He's very, very big. Yeah, he's like the Mr. Beast of GunTube, referring to Demo. Probably less essay allegations, though, I would imagine. So much less cringe than like Mr. Beast or something like that. For sure. I mean, however, I do have to say that Hickok is absolutely smashing it right now with 73% of the vote. So I believe Hickok is going to be moving on to face PSR in the next round. That is a David and Goliath situation, literally. Now, here's a heartbreaker. 9-hole Henry versus Hop, right? I think I know which way the chat is going to go in that regards. But let me go ahead and pull this up here. Oh, got to end the other poll first. Here, this tab. Let's see here. Remove. All right. Old 9-hole Henry, which sounds like a really bad nickname you don't want. Who wins? 5'5" versus 6'9". This is another, yeah. Although I don't think Henry's quite that short. I think he's like 5'6", 5'7". But yeah, I think in terms of skill wise, realistically, I think Henry might be better, right? In terms of physicality, Henry's older, but he has much younger knees than Hop because Hop can like barely bend over, right? Bad knees when you're that tall, everything starts falling apart early. Plus, Hop is like super old. I think he's like 35, which is ancient. Hop might 53. It's close. It's very close. Legitimately, if I was putting money on it, I would probably go with Henry. The small man's going to carry it through. I think he's got skill. I think he's got more experience. Yeah. But I think popularity is going to carry Hop through. Close first round, though. I honestly did not expect it to be as close as it is. Hop is winning right now with 54%. Lincoln Chen says, Ironside only, Henry wins. Or you say Harry? Is that on purpose? Harry wins. Grand Come yet? No, Grand Come is coming up. No pun intended. I forget who he's going up against. It's close, man. I'll let it run for a little bit longer. I will let it run for a little bit longer. 52% currently. It's close, so I don't want to just cut it off. Oh, 51, 40 to 52. Very, very close. All right, we'll let it get to 200 votes. It's at 186 right now. So we get a few more votes in there. Cast your vote, and we'll decide at 200 votes because it's very, very close. 192, 51. Damn, very close. 8 more votes to decide it. It's within 2 votes of each other. 52, 6 votes left. Hop is, I don't think Hop's actually 35. I think he's like 31 or something. Henry is good. Henry is legit good. 51, 198. It is 2 votes apart, 200. There it is. And with 51% of the vote. Oh, I didn't even put them on here. Silly me. Where are they? Hop, Stoic Hop as usual, Wisecracking Man versus Henry, and unfortunately, Henry gets eliminated. Very sad. Very sad first round, but probably the best matchup so far. Hop moves on to fight the winner of Reno May versus Honest Outlaw. Now, oh, sorry. Let me show you this. Yeah, so next up we have Reno May versus Honest Outlaw. Go ahead and put this one up here. Now, Reno May, advantages, TRT. Disadvantages, overly large forehead. Makes for a very large hitbox. Honest Outlaw, very good shooter. Is a jiu-jitsu guy as well, so he's got some hand-to-hand skill. Downside's also a very large hitbox. Very, very tall man. I think he's like 6'4". Very, very tall guy. But then again, Reno's got that 5-head, 6-head to make up for it. Reno May is from Cali, auto loss. We'll see. Let me go ahead and get this one while we're waiting. Remove image. Remove. Oh, go away. Let's see here. Reno versus Honest Outlaw. May by PEDs, exactly, yes. May by PEDs. Damn it, Jeremy says, I'm sure Reno could headbutt his way out of that fight. Yeah. Big forehead on that man. It's funny, so, you know, he's on TRT or whatever for his workouts. Totally fine. Cool, do all that. I don't care. But it's funny, if you take like a lot of GH or something like that, your head shape can actually change. And so with Reno, it would be really funny if like his forehead was the only thing that grew. And so he went from like a relatively normalish looking guy to like somebody with like a 6-inch tall forehead. Outlaw is very good though. Outlaw is very good. And Reno's not a terrible shooter by any means. So I think if I was going to go based off of like purely handgun skill, I'd give it to Honest, right? And Honest is crushing it with 83% of the vote. We all know a strong black woman would win. That is true. A strong black woman would clear, but I did have to nerf you, Austin, by not putting you on the list. Also, you don't have any shooting videos on your channel. Well, actually, you probably have some, but not like dedicated like handgun shooting stuff. So otherwise, I would have put you on here. All the estrogen grew Reno's head. Yeah. Reno's hat does him no favors. No. The hat does him favors for sure. Yeah. Just one large muscle group on his forehead. He actually has a 2-pack on his forehead. But yeah, no. Reno gets absolutely destroyed here by the Honest Outlaw with 81% of the vote, which means that Honest Outlaw now moves up to go against Top. So now we have two like 6'4" giants going up against each other. Really good matchup, though. Ziga versus Micah Mayfield. Now, Micah Mayfield, if you're not familiar with him, though I'm sure you all are, Garantham's cameraman, plus a really, really good shooter. Memes aside, very, very good shooter. So it is, who was the other guy again? Ziga. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was the end. Ziga, also a good shooter. Pulling our tactical, of course. In terms of raw shooting, I'm not sure who I would put above the other. I think Ziga might have more like competition experience. Yeah. Vintage says me versus Overton LMFAO. Yes, absolutely. Let me go ahead and put that poll in the chat though real fast. Who wins? We have Ziga versus Micah Mayfield. All right, story time. I met Micah Mayfield at SHOT Show. I was with another guy at a random party. Micah Mayfield walks in. The guy that I'm with is like, hey, I want to go talk to him about getting him a gun because this guy works for a company, right? And so I just follow him and go introduce myself and shake hands with Micah. And then Micah's like, oh, are you with this company? And I was like, yeah. So Micah thinks if he ever sees me, he's going to be, oh, are you that guy from that company? No, I'm not. Micah does not know who I am. GB Guns comes in and he says, sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? You went out in the first round, sir, which I'm very sorry to see. Who did you go up against? I think it was Ivan from Kit Badger. It was a relatively close battle, but yeah, first round knockout for you. But don't worry, it's about to happen to me as well. So, because I am on this list. And it looks like Micah is also on his way out with 73% of the vote going to Ziga. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Doesn't matter. All right. Let me go ahead and mark that in there. Ziga is the winner, and he is moving on to fight the winner of regular guy training, RGT, and X-Ring. This is actually a really good matchup. Now, if you aren't familiar with regular guy training, he's a very, very high volume shooter. Very, very high volume shooter. Let's see. Regular guy training, and I just said it. Very forgetful. X-Ring. X-Ring. Also met him at SHOT Show. We can talk about that. Regular guy training. Very, very good shooter. Lots and lots of reps. Also offers training for like $50 if you join his training at the highest level, which I think is $50 a month. You can come and train as much as you want, which is a great, great deal. RGT looks like he's clearing it. X-Ring. I met him at SHOT Show. He was working the what's the name of that knife company? Microtech. He was working the Microtech booth. So I talked to him for a minute about some of the knives. I filmed a quick video on some of his stuff for the Gun.Deals channel. So if you actually want to go to the Gun.Deals channel, you can hear me and X-Ring talk about Microtech knives. I don't know anything about knives, so I was kind of just nodding along the whole time. Very, very nice guy. Also, if you watch his competition footage, because he is a legit spree gunner, very, very good shooter. Very, very good shooter. Randy reviews it says RGT is rough to listen to, like just stylistically. I think, yeah, maybe his voice is a little raspy, if you don't mind. I mean, I don't have a great voice, so I'm not one to complain about that sort of thing. RGT probably put on 3 pounds in lead poisoning alone. Yeah. And regular guy training, he has been very, very skinny in the past, like 145 pounds, like at like 5'9", 5'10". But he's actually up to about 175. He's been working out. He's been very consistent. So he looks a lot better nowadays than he did like 3-4 years ago. Lincoln says, did you say X-Ring day job is at Microtech? There's some relation between X-Ring and Microtech, right? I don't know if he works for them, does some things, but he was working the Microtech booth, so he was there. So I chatted with him about Microtech knives. Very, very nice guy. I wasted a lot of his time there. So X-Ring, if you see this, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I just watched this video as well. It's a great video on the X-Ring channel. Is the mile shot with, I think it was less than 40 rounds of ammo off of an $800 rifle at a mile, which is whew. All right, but RGT is clearing this list though, so X-Ring goes off. Sad to see you go, sir, but it had to happen. All right, regular guy training is the winner of that. Go ahead and end that poll. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Grand Thumb versus Humble Marksman. Now, some people in the chat might 9-hole. Josh is alive. Henry died. So Josh cleared. Who did Josh clear? Let me go back. I can show you. I can show you real fast since you're in the chat. Oh no, we're here. Okay. So 9-hole. Josh beat Forgotten Weapons, Ian. And then Henry lost a hop. 51-49. Very, very close. So depending on which person is commenting on the 9 holes channel, very, very close. Oh, it's Henry. Okay, yeah. Henry, you did go down to hop. I'm very sorry to say it. 9 hole. All right. Where was I again? Grand Thumb versus Humble Marksman. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Who wins? Now, Grand Thumb, as some of you may know, in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. There are some rumors floating about that have not yet been entirely verified to the public that may sway some people one way or the other. This isn't the drama video. I've been unfortunately approached by a bunch of people behind the scenes with information and stuff like that. We're not really going to talk about that here. This is purely a stream about something else. So we don't really want to go into that too much. Although I'm sure the chat will have plenty of thoughts one way or the other. Where'd he go? Mr. Grand Thumb versus Humble Marksman. Where'd you go, buddy? How am I missing Humble Marksman? He's massive. All these guys are massive. So, Humble Marksman, a master competition shooter. Very, very good. Very big. Very physical. Grand Thumb, also 6'1-ish, 6'2-ish, right? Also positives. TRT, of course, got that enhanced strength. Got the Trent cough going on in his voice a little bit. Also a good handgun shooter, probably outside of the top 10 on this list, maybe just inside the top 10 on this list, but a good handgun shooter. Now, as far as training goes for something like that, you would probably give the edge to Grand Thumb, depending on, what he was actually doing in the military, which I think was SEER and TAC-P, if I remember correctly, versus Humble Marksman, who's just a really, really good shooter, right? Micah, 6 foot. Yeah, I see a lot of this stuff. Yeah, no. Drama stuff aside, Grand Thumb can't shoot. Nobody questions that, right? He is a good shooter, probably just outside of the top 10, if not like 9, 8, somewhere in that range, because there's some legit competition shooters in here and, some other guys that are just like actual like top tier pistol shooters. Grand Thumb, 62% of the vote, though. Remember, I can't intervene in this because, of course, I could, but the chat is supposed to decide, not me. Ancient Gloon says GT fanboys on self-deletion. So, yeah, Trend Bologna Sandwich, exactly. Well, Ivan I says 9 holes Josh is probably the only guy who can compete with Marksman. Ben Stoger, who's not up yet. Ben Stoger is actually the best shooter on this list, right? If I was picking the list, he would be seed number 1. Oof, ouch, oof. Some of the comments in there, oof, you guys are brutal. All right, that's probably long enough. 61% for Grand Thumb, though. So, damn it, Humble Marksman is out. Very sad. I was rooting for you, sir. All right, next up. Now, this is where I get out of the picture, right? This is James Reeves versus me. And I'm on this list. I self-admittedly am not the greatest pistol shooter out there. Certainly not. I don't particularly enjoy shooting pistols, so I know I'm going to lose this one, but I think I would actually lose this one in reality too. Where did you go, James? Oh, damn it, wrong one. There we go. Versus James right there. I think James is going to clear this one. Pretty easy. James versus me. And who wins? Now, as far as like my raw pistol skills go, I'm like, okay, I would say I am bottom to middle of the pack on this list for sure. I don't shoot handguns all that much. My wrists aren't particularly good to begin with. I can barely type as it is. So I don't particularly enjoy shooting handguns. I shoot my concealed carry gun like once a week, once every other week. I put a mag through it just as kind of like repetition. And then for a video, probably 2 a month. So I probably put like 300 rounds, 400 rounds down a month of handgun, maybe a little bit more than that, but not that much as like a high volume shooter. And I also kind of cheat. I like comped guns. I like ported guns, anything that makes it easier on me. James is an actually good pistol shooter. He shot a lot for a long time. He's got a lot more experience than me. In terms of physicality, he's in really good shape, even though he's like mid 40s, I want to say. Good shape, good cardio, fast, 6 foot-ish. James, 64% of the vote. That is good, yeah. I figured, but there was only a couple people on this list that I could beat, realistically. Reeves has sarcasm. Reeves does have sarcasm. See, I don't get sarcasm because of the socially inept thing, which is not really a meme. It's very, very true. So, unfortunately, sir, you have been eliminated. We all saw it coming. All right. Let's go ahead and end that poll. 65% of the vote. Message retracted. American Psycho. Yeah. All right. James Reeves moving on to Garanthem in the next round. I like that. Oof. This is kind of rough. Ben Stoger versus Brassfax. Now, if you're not familiar, Ben Stoger, not a fan of the Zigas, let's say, but that's probably his main weakness. His strength is his hair, beautiful, luscious locks, but he is actually a fantastic shooter. Versus the Brassfax, who is no slouch whatsoever when it comes to shooting. Oops, nope, I don't want that. Oop, gosh dang it. What is going on? Get rid of that. All right. That pool is live. Now let me go ahead and swap over here. Remove. I would put my money on, that's a great picture of Brass. I don't know why I grabbed that one. And then Ben Stoger. Ben Stoger's been doing a lot of videos recently. He's a Guntuber, like technically in that he uploads videos talking about guns, but he is very... He's a comp shooter, right? That's what he does. He is a fantastic shooter. In fact, while we're here, I think I can pull it up. I think I can pull it up without getting my channel yeeted if I show just like an Instagram clip of Ben Stoger. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe I can find a clip. Let me see if I can find something, just a point of reference. Oop. Let me see. Home of Ben Stoger. Yeah, it's very, very good. I'm trying to see books and videos. Does he have a good video? Nope. Unbelievable. His website looks like it's from 1999. Yes, Ben's shooting is insanely good, and his shit talking is S tier. He's very, very good. Very, very good. And a great watch. So if you're interested in pistol stuff, absolutely. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can do this without getting my channel yeeted. Can I share this instead? You get the gist, though. He's very good. He's very, very good. He's won titles. Just so that the YouTube overlords don't kill me, we'll go ahead and stop it there. But he's very good. He's very, very good, right? Very good undersells him. He's multiple USPSA champ. Yes, he is. I don't know. Yeah, he's top tier. He is a actual top tier shooter. And if we go back here, he won with 63% of the vote. Very sorry, Brass. You are out. Good, sir. All right. Moving on, Ben Stoger did in fact win that, which means we have John Lovell versus Lucas at T-Rex Arms. Now, T-Rex Arms, Lucas Botkin, I should say, ends up being somewhat controversial for a lot of his takes, but, you know, never cheated on his wife. Just saying. Just saying. Allegedly, possibly, right? Lucas Botkin versus, I literally just said it, John Lovell. John Lovell, also a very good shooter, trainer, has real experience as well. Taught handguns. I think one of the first videos that I saw on YouTube when I was getting into guns was actually John Lovell's. Let me fix this. Was actually John Lovell's like one-man room clearing, right? That video has like millions of views, but it's a very, very good video. And John Lovell and Lucas, there, oh, it's right there, staring me right in the face. Lucas, just a very technically proficient shooter. Lucas is certainly within the top 5 or top 10 on this list for sure. Maybe just outside of the top 5. As somebody mentioned it in the chat, Brantley, their new hire, is like a legitimate, like, top tier pistol shooter, right, as well. Lucas is just very, very good, if that makes sense. But somebody like Ben Stoger is going to be a step above, right? Now, yeah, John Lovell was a ranger. He has legit experience on top of like just, I don't know if he still offers a lot of training to the level that he did, but I know that he still offers training and whatnot. And he's still a very competent shooter and whatnot. This is a pistol shooter. Oh, so we should probably go back over this while that is going. So the rules. This is a pistol only match. Pistols only, no secondaries, no throwables, no armor, unlimited magazines, any pistol of their choice, handgun, you know. So not like a braced pistol or anything like just an actual handgun. We all know what it means. The location is here. This is a penthouse in France. This is a very, very nice penthouse in France. Red and blue are the spawn points. The blacked out areas are the stairwells and the elevator access, which are blacked out for the purposes of this. And it is a very, very beautiful location in France. So it is a very, very nice penthouse that these guys are battling it out in. Yeah. It's pistols only. We could do a second edition of this where it is like, you know, a much more open environment, get some distance in there, and you could do rifles or whatever loadouts you want. You could do a team version. You could do all sorts of different versions of this. But I think Lucas takes the L on that, putting the L in Lucas Botkin with 57% of the vote going to John Lovell. But, I mean, that's a good matchup, to be fair. That's a good matchup. I think Lucas would be, like, technically slightly faster, but tactics, physicality, that sort of thing, I would give the edge to John. All right. Next up is Mr. Guns and Gear versus Brandon Herrera. Also kind of two OGs in the scene, for sure. They've both been around for a long time. Mr. Guns and Gear has done, you know, straightforward review stuff for a very, very long time, as well as like topical videos, breakdowns on the recent Trump assassination attempt. He has very detailed breakdowns on all of that stuff. Brandon Herrera, funny guy, does a lot of does a lot of like more entertainment focused content nowadays, like, you know, gun meme reviews, like Darwin Award, stuff like that. Did run to be politician in his district, which would have helped, but of course he almost won. Almost. Sorry, let me end that poll. This is Mr. Guns and Gear. Now, the one thing about putting Brandon on this list is he doesn't like do a lot of like just shooting, right? Whereas Mr. Guns and Gear does shoot a lot. He does test a lot of different stuff. Who is? All right. Now, Mike, Mr. Guns and Gear, I met him at Primary Arms Range Day, I want to say. He was with some of the Crowder guys, filming some content for Mug Club exclusively, I want to say he was with Gerald, the big guy. Mike's a very nice guy. He reached out to me after the whole Lead and Steel thing. He was one of the bigger YouTubers who reached out to me in support. Very, very nice. Met him in person. Very nice guy. Yeah, Brandon, of course, me and him have had our run-ins, but I'm not running the chat. Mr. Guns and Gear with 94% of the vote. Is that wow? Wow. Ouch. 90. That is the that is the biggest split I've seen. RTT coming in and says they would both stop fighting if Olight promised them money. Very possible. Very possible. I do like it now that Mr. Guns and Gear, he must have some deal with them for something. I don't know about anything like this. This is just pure speculation. But he only puts the Olight stuff on the B channel. So he doesn't do anything with them on the A channel anymore. So I don't know what the deal is there. But, funnily enough, while we're talking about Olight, behind me on that LaRue rifle in the background is one of the new Olight lights. Not because I bought it, but because a gentleman who wanted me to review that LaRue stealth upper behind me sent it in with the Olight weapon light on it. So now I get to play around with that. And hopefully it doesn't blow up. Joe Centralo says this is the worst beating I've seen since the Yankee Marshal asked his male prostitute for the regular. Wow. Oh yeah, Brandon did also win that boxing match. So Brandon's physicality is, like, if he's maintained that shape, like, pretty good for sure. I just don't know, like, I actually don't know how good of a shooter he is. He did like some meme stuff. He was at like a little competition thing, but he was running some like really, really silly gun. And so it's like, it's not really good footage to be like, oh, is he a good or bad shooter on it? Sorry, the LaRue is that one. That's the LaRue. That's obviously a SCAR. That Andrew just sent me that that SCAR to play around with. So that will be in the repertoire. But yeah, we can go ahead and end that poll because that was a slaughter. I think with 92% of the vote, 92% of the vote, removing Brandon from the poll. All right. So Mr. Guns and Gear moves forward to fight the winner of Admin and Magic Prepper. Oh, that's a tough matchup. Now, Magic Prepper randomly ran into him here in South Dakota. A very nice guy, does good live streams, good breakdowns on like things that you might want to be prepared for. A very good channel to check out. Admin, really good content. Back in the day, it was a different name. I forget the memes about the different channel names and whatnot, but different channel name. Really good, like entertaining content, not like the deepest level content out there, but very entertaining. Has a podcast now with actually Austin from Vintage Warfare. Fun watch, fun listen. If you're into that sort of thing, not the most serious, but it's a good mix for sure. He's got a lot of good experience. People were going after him for different reasons, but nothing that important. You know, I might not be a big fan of all of his sponsors, but I'm not a big fan of most of these people's sponsors. All right, let's put them in here. Oh shoot, I gotta actually get the poll done. See, I gotta do everything myself here. This is Admin versus Magic. All right, put that up there. So Blue Eyed Devil says, you've mentioned physicality. I mean, to move from room to room in a penthouse is a low bar. So what I mean by that is that there are, especially back here, this is incredibly tight, right? So there is a scenario where you get within like 1 foot of each other and you now start having to people are going for guns. All sorts of different silly things are happening, right? So the physicality is the lowest bar, right? That's the lowest rung, right? It's like your tactics, your shooting skill, weapon of choice or whatnot. And then at the very bottom of that is physicality, right? That's like the 1%. If everything else is equal, the bigger, stronger, faster person, I would give the edge to, right? But everything else comes first. So when I mention physicality, it's the lower. Yeah, admin clears. Admin's not a small guy. I don't think either of these guys are small. I think Magic is 6'1". Everybody's big to me. So whenever I meet somebody and I'm looking up at them, that's just normal, right? So I'm like, oh, everybody's over 6 feet, obviously. But most people tower over me. Yeah, no, this place is a nightmare. So they're in the top section up here, the living room area, there are some open sight lines. But if you get stuck in these back areas, very, very tight, right? You got doorways into tiny hallways, and then you got like a little long line of sight. Very, very tight, right? So physicality matters. It's just the lowest level, right? All right, but admin does definitely clear this, though. I haven't even put them on there yet. Where'd you go? Admin versus... Don't do that. Magic. I think he was also at the bottom. Where'd he go? Magic Prepper. I think we all probably saw it coming, but Magic Prepper is out with 80% of the vote going to admin. All right. All right, so there's the first round. So we're approximately halfway there. Second half should probably go a little bit faster. All right. So the next matchup is Jerry Mitchellek versus Milspec Mojo. Milspec Mojo, as we've talked about, fantastic shooter. Absolutely fantastic shooter. Jerry Mitchellek as well, of course. But this is where maybe the physicality might come into play, whereas Milspec is a police officer. He's a little bit stockier. He's probably quite a bit stronger at this point in time, whereas Jerry Mitchellek is probably like the raw, like just shooting performance, like better, right? This is where, tactics and experience, age, physicality, that sort of thing might come into play, where you would give the slightest edge to somebody else. Mojo versus Jerry. Milspec Mojo is 4'10". No, I think Milspec's like realistically like 5'6", 5'7", which is, just slightly shorter than me. Does age trump experience? Well, Jerry's mid 70s now, high 70s now. So I think age is certainly a factor. Whereas, Milspec Mojo's like just heading into his prime, just outside of his prime, 34, 35, somewhere in that range. Mojo Simps rigging the vote. Well, that's the thing. Everybody's got one vote. It's close, 57% right now. I understand it though. I mean, like, again, if I was putting them into a competition stage, maybe I would give Jerry the edge. But if I was putting them into a 1v1 in a house, unknown environment, single moving target, probably give Mojo the edge. Jury has still got it, brother. JM is fast. Yes, he is. 5'6" equals 4'10" among most of the Guntubers. Yes. Yeah, I do notice that. The Hobbit versus Gandalf. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Is the match revolvers and shotguns only? No, the match is pistols only. One handgun of choice, unlimited ammo, no armor, no secondaries, no throwables. One handgun, as much ammo as you want. Whatever handgun you want. Whatever optics you want. Light, laser, you can do anything on there. Jerry can just sit at the first doorway and wait. Yes, that is a possible strategy. So if that's how in your head you want to give Jerry the edge. Bucket says, sorry, Linklets, you're bleeding out in that penthouse. Yeah. Jerry would win if he camped. Possible. Possible. Are these mail-in ballots? I'm concerned. Yeah. No. We're going to wait to count these till 3 a.m. and we can find a bucket of Jerry ballots. But no, I think it's close. It's at over 200 votes right now. 53% for Mojo. Jerry just turns the building into Swiss cheese after the beep, though. Absolutely. Yeah, no, revolvers are allowed. Absolutely. So you can, if you wanted to carry a revolver, you could. Again, it is just a 1v1. So Jerry can use a revolver 100%. If it was revolvers only, I would absolutely give it to Jerry. Jerry is, I don't know if there's anyone out there that I would put above Jerry with a revolver only match. But I think that Mojo, unfortunately or fortunately, does clear and Jerry goes out. That is probably the biggest / best matchup on the field because it's two like really, really good shooters. Now, Ivan Kit Badger versus Josh from 9-Hole Reviews. In terms of just raw skill, I would definitely again give it to Josh, as Josh actually was a competition shooter for a long time, and Ivan is a very good shooter, but just not to like a true like competition level. Oop, I just typed that a little wrong. Josh. All right, put that up there. William Dwyer says it's rigged. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't rig it. I thought about giving myself the opportunity to play like 3 trump cards or something so that I could alter the results of like a couple matches, but not the entire thing and just ruin it. But giving myself the power to like, you know, if somebody really won on a popularity contest that shouldn't have, to like alter that. But I ended up being like, no, I'm just going to let you guys do it all. That way there, I don't take any of the blame. Oop. Sorry, Jerry, sir. So we have Kit Badger versus Josh, 9-Hole Reviews. Yankee Marshall versus Double Out Sean. Yeah, Lucas lost to John Lovell. Very close fight, but Lucas did actually lose there. Kit Badger has been through worse than any gunfight. Divorce. That's true, but he's also been through gunfights as well. Yeah. Ivan did I don't remember exactly what branch he was in, but he did military service and then contract work and then YouTube type stuff and many other things as well, of course. But no, he has real world experience for sure. Joe Centralo says Yankee Marshall versus his own sexuality. That's that. Josh 9-Hole, though, it looks like he is clearing this with 71% of the vote. Steve O says he takes combat over target shooting. Very true. That is something that you might weigh heavier. Like even if somebody's a better target shooter in a 1v1, maybe the pressure is different. Obviously, bullets going both ways. Definitely a little bit different. But it looks like Ivan is out. And again, great guy. Met him in person, chatted with him just on the SHOT Show floor, just wandering around about different stuff and whatnot. Seems like a very nice, genuine guy. All right, we move on. 9-Hole Josh moves on to go against Milspec Mojo. Another really good matchup. Now, this is the David and Goliath matchup right here. This is PSR versus Hickok 45. Now, I think with my audience, I think they're going to choose Hickok. Pretty sure. Again, Hickok is probably 14 inches longer, maybe, but definitely taller than PSR. There is a large height disparity there. Let's get rid of this one. Oop. There should be an easier way just to clear it with like one button. I feel like there should be an easier way to do it. C'est la vie. PSR. Hickok. In range versus Satan worship. Actually, didn't Carl the Cut Casada get kicked out of the Church of Satan? Isn't that what I heard? Is like that even, is that even possible? How does one do that? Do either of these two ever shoot at real targets? No, see, that's the thing. Hickok has only ever shot at soda bottles, pumpkins, and like weird animal-shaped steel. No, he does shoot a lot of like random targets and stuff like that. PSR has shot competitions. and like brutality events. And, you know, his shooting footage in a lot of his videos is like, you know, bump fire, fun stuff. But he is actually not a terrible shooter. Now, with just raw handgun skill, would I put him in the top half of this list? No, probably not. Mr. T says, did YouTube eat my super chat? I did not see it, sir. So, yes. If you sent one, I did not get it. Very sorry about that. Yeah, I think Carl had something to do with the Church of Satan. We don't need to get... That's different stuff. He shoots pots. Yeah, he shoots lots of random stuff. Lots of random stuff. Smokes pot, that too. PSR is faster, for sure, right? That's the thing, right? If you're that tall and as you age, like things start to not quite function the way you would like. Like you don't see a lot of old Great Danes. Chat is wrong and stupid. The vote is rigged. Do it again. Well, that's the thing, right? That's why I kind of wanted something in there to allow myself to swap votes that were to like just popularity contest or like people not liking a certain person. But I didn't give myself that ability. So unfortunately, PSR is out with 37% of the vote. So which means that... Oh, give me a second. My wife is at the door. I think she's bringing me something. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Am I off? I'm off cam. Okay. You guys can still hear me though, but I'll be right back. Oh. All right. And I'm back. Hey. Yeah, chat's wrong and stupid. I'm sorry. Was Hickok just paralleled to a Great Dane? Yes. Yes, he was. Let's see. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hop versus Honest Outlaw. Battle of the Giants, right? Because I think Hop's 6'4-ish. Honest Outlaw is in the same category there. Again, in terms of raw shooting performance, it's got to be Honest Outlaw, right? I think just by volume of shooting and the amount of work that he does with that. Whereas Hop is much more of a general purpose shooter. Definitely not bad by any means, but just raw shooting potential. I think I would give it to Honest. But it's not up to me. I just chat. I'll let you guys fight it out. Mr. Tactical Pizza says, Focus just bragging about his wife. Yeah, you know, my wife brought me a drink because this is just garbage like Prime, but it has like coconut water in it. So it helps me to talk for a little bit longer so my voice doesn't go out. Outlaw clears. Hop is basically a paraplegic. Well, Honest Outlaw was injured in a treeing accident a couple years ago, and it took him a long time to get back up to relatively full strength, but he's in much better shape now than he was, for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and put this tab up. Remove. All right, Hop. And the redhead giant himself, Honest Outlaw. Hop did outscore Cole at GBRS at a SIG pistol event. That is interesting. No, I mean, I would say both of these people outshoot me very easily. I would just say Honest Outlaw does have a ton of experience. And just from what I've seen, this is going off purely what I've seen, Honest Outlaw is going to be a little bit faster. Now, tactically speaking, maybe you could say that Hop's been to more training events for TFB TV, and so maybe he's got a little bit of an edge there. I know that, Honest Outlaw does have a jiu-jitsu background, I want to say, and something he actively practices. Yeah, I could have put Delta 34 on the list as well. Yep, for sure. Not the goobers, yeah. Oh no, Chris Short, that is brutal. Hop is my favorite Guntuber, but I'm pretty sure Tim Waltz can outshoot him. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, the Sigger event was probably rigged. Yeah. Dude, saying Sigger and rigged 10 times fast, probably not a good idea. Blue 236 for $5. Thank you very much, sir. He says, did you get the LaRue upper? Hop is hard to hit. Skinny, very true. I think if he turns sideways, he actually like disappears for a second if you're at a perfect angle at him. So maybe rig it for Hop. Honest Outlaw 53%. What are we at? We're at 220 votes. I'll let it get to 250. At 250 votes, we'll cut it, but it's very close. Hop is very close to getting out. Hop barely beat Henry, which was probably rigged for popularity, let's be real. But for Honest Outlaw, looks like the popularity is even, or at least evening out the advantage. But yes, sir, I did get your LaRue upper. It's sitting over there. Could you tell the chat, Blue, what is the Olight light on it? It's very bright. It's very, very bright. Yeah, the problem with Delta 34 is he puts out like one really good video every 4 months and then disappears. So it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about Delta 34. It's like, there's another video. It's like, we'll see him next year. Blanklet maxing. Yeah, it looks, the poll looks pretty damn stable at 230 votes for Honest Outlaw. Now, this is something Gabriel says, if I win the lottery, I'll make this tournament happen IRL. This is something I kind of thought about, is if I ever did get to, let's say, 500,000 or 1 million subs, I would absolutely put on a like Simunitions like shoot house match and do a tournament style bracket where, you know, you do like best of 3s or best of 5s in a 1v1 shootout. And then you actually have somebody like win at the end of the day, right? That could be really fun, really cool idea, because it doesn't really take all that much other than getting the people there. You need a shoot house, you need Simunitions, people to film it, which everybody brings their own anyways, so it's not that complicated, right? And then you have some sort of fun thing at the end. That would be fun. GB Guns, as a veteran and former competitive shooter, I can say the pressure is different. Yes. Mr. T for $4.99 says, second attempt, do you think the pressures would affect the comp only shooters more than the veteran / real world experience guys? Yes, absolutely. Now, if we're talking about a Simunitions match, like where they both know it's like, oh, it's going to hurt a little bit, maybe not quite as much as like live fire, but live fire is definitely a different factor. And people that actually have experience can speak to that. It is the Olight. What did he comment what Olight it was? It's the Olight Javelot TAC. So that is the Olight that is on that LaRue behind me. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. Hop is actually out in the round of 16. I did not expect it. I didn't expect it. But so be it. We move on. Honest Outlaw moves on to take on Hickok. So I think that's where Hickok goes out. Now we have Ziga versus regular guy training. All right, let me go ahead and put that here in the chat. Ziga versus regular guy training. Again, regular guy training, got a lot of experience, very good shooter, very high volume shooter. Ziga also good, but I would put my money personally on regular guy training. Go ahead and put that up there. Put that down here. Pull that on screen, remove. And let's see. Now the hard part is finding them. Regular guy training versus Ziga's at the top. Ziga. Full Hour Tactical. They're not a channel that I watch all the time, but they do have a lot of like good content. Guntuber does need a Mr. Beast. I'm not sure about that. Oopsies, we put the round in the bag. My voice has reverb, it shouldn't. Did I touch something? Mm-mm. Hello? No? No? Sounds fine to me. The Javelot. Yeah, the Javelot is very bright. Very, very bright. Ziga's got it ahead in the vote. I would put RTG ahead of Ziga in terms of shooting potential, but wasn't Ziga in one of those goofy small Euro militaries? Very possible. Again, I'm not the biggest Polinar tactical buff, but it is very possible. Ziga would own this kid. RGT is not like a kid. You know, I think he's well older than I am, and he has actual military experience, and he runs training camps not training camps. That sounds wrong, but he runs training stuff all the time. Very, very good shooter. He was in the Slovenian military. Ah, I see. Slavs are born with combat experience. Very, very true. Very true. Polnar. Am I saying it wrong? I'm probably saying all of it wrong, so let's just assume that I'm doing it wrong. I am 28. Somebody asked how old I was. I am 28 until Friday, and then on Friday, I am 29. So, yeah. All right, so Ziga has got it at 56% of the vote, which means RGT is now out. Very sad. So Ziga moves on to fight the winner of Grantham versus James Reeves. Very interesting matchup. I think realistically, I would give it to Grantham. Right. A little bit younger. Both very good shooters. That's a rough 28. Yeah. Very rough 28. Let's see. Grantham versus GB Gun says, "You're young, or rather making me feel old." Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, RGT has been in the U.S. Army. Yeah, he was in the military for a long time and runs courses all the time. He shoots a lot. A lot. Ricky Boy, happy birthday in a month, sir. Or happy birthday, belated birthday. I don't know, guys. It looks like Garantham's about to clear this one. Which, again, it does kind of devolve into a popularity contest a little bit. So it's just fun to chat about, though. Where did they go, though? Where'd he go? Am I actually like this? My eyesight is supposedly good, but I can't. Hardest part of the video. James Reeves, Crazy Eyes James versus TRT Jones over there. James is prettier, you know. That's interesting. Maybe that's a bit of psychological warfare going on. Maybe James would just give up and drink. Very possible. He might take a little sip to ease the nerves before going in. Although realistically, yeah, I would give Grantham the edge. Oh, ouch! Joe's so mean. Ouch. James would win on a legal technicality. Yes, he would find a way to disqualify Grantham. If you've ever won a popularity contest, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Today, we're talking about Sonoran Divorce and Desert Institute. Grantham will 100% cheat. Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed, sir. Uncalled for. Uncalled for and unconfirmed. But Grantham does win with 71% of the vote. So very, very easy matchup for Mr. Thumb. All right, so moving on, Grantham. Grantham versus Ziga in the next matchup. Ben Stoger versus the warrior poet himself, John Lovell. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Again, raw shooting experience, or not necessarily experience, but raw shooting skill, Ben, right? GT is evil maxing. SDI Gers. Flannels versus shorts, yep. All right. Ben Stoger versus Warrior Poet. Really, really tough matchup. because Warrior Poet is a good shooter, not on the level of Ben. He's got the tactics advantage, got the experience advantage, might even have a physicality advantage, but just the raw shooting skill of Ben is so high that John would have to think out of the box to get the win, which he is probably capable of doing. So that is a tough matchup. That is a very, very tough matchup. Ben shoots while John is busy reciting Bible quotes. That's possible. Unicorns, man, for the win. John would be polite as he wins. He would. I weigh trigger time over combat experience. That is your freedom to do so, sir. Ben is the GOAT. Ben is very good. Hunter Constantine is not whack. He's very good. He's a legit grandmaster shooter. He's very good. But he's not quite like he's in the top level, right? But then there's like within the top level, there's like a top level of top level, and he's probably just outside of that. No, I mean, Man Guy Dude says, isn't John a manlet? I think Ben's not particularly tall, I don't think, unless I'm off on that. Going with the door kicker, definitely. Ben can shoot and move. It's very true. No. Ben can do everything. Anything with a handgun, he can do, right? When it comes to the shooting skill, Ben is the best, right? He's the best on the list, right? John has the tactics and two-way range experience that might give him an edge, or maybe he's able to manufacture an edge, right? But that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. John has God on his side, very true. Yeah. John was a ranger, very true. It's really close, really, really close. 196 votes, 52%. I'll let it get to 200 votes, and then we'll have to call it there. It's at 196 right now. Ben unironically trains Delta operators. I mean, there's lots of people who claim to train military personnel, but just legitimately, he's just great. He's very good. I have Ben winning it all. That's what I said. That's what I said at the beginning, is I have Ben winning it all. 202 to 51%, 52%. Very, very close. All right, 52, 205 at 52, 206 at 51. Wow. I'll let it go for a second longer. That is very, very close. 207 at 52. And that's that. Ben Stoger with 52% of the vote moves on. Very, very close. Again, John is a good shooter. He's got the tactics. He's young enough. He's got the physicality. He's got all the pieces, but Ben is just the better shooter. Next up, Mr. Guns and Gear versus Admin Man. Let me go ahead and put that in there. I'm not sure about this one. I don't really know. Admin's taking the early lead here. He's got the nice mustache. Oop. Mike's not a bad shooter by any means. A little bit older, a little bit more experience. Combat experience, right? Mr. Shilsome Gear. Ooh, that's a good one, actually. Adman, oh, that's funny. This one's tough. Admin is the lesser shill, the lesser of two shills. Oh, that's true. Is Mike's head a built-in flash grenade? Yeah, I did. Tusk 3 says Sean Ryan would have been cool before he went all crazy. I did originally have Sean Ryan on this list, but as other people pointed out, he's much more of a podcaster these days. And when you say he goes all crazy, what are we talking about? Are we talking like the alien conspiracy theory stuff? Because those videos were, I like. Listen, all right, it's all out there, guys. But it's entertaining, right? You don't have to believe any of it, but it's entertaining. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. All that sort of stuff. Admin does have police training, which is primarily with pistols. Yep. 50-50 is wild. It's very, very close. Right, yeah. Admin's content has dipped. I don't care enough about guns and film to watch a channel devoted to that. I don't want to say it fell off, but the content just changed, right? So I really only watch gun content and then some like computer tech stuff and then like entertainment news just because I like to keep up to date on some of that stuff. But yeah, most of the other stuff, the historical stuff, it's not really my thing like it is other people's. It's different people's forms of autism. Trench grenade, not on this list. No. GG is in better shape. They're both in good shape as far as I know. But Mike is in good shape. Yeah, for sure. Oh. Oof. Everyone's gun content has taken a dip. Lol. Happens every NFL season. I think we're just talking about stuff that we personally enjoy, though, because Admin's doing more like movies rather than just like raw gun content, shooting focus type stuff or whatnot. It's more like reviews of stuff in film, which is fun, right? I think there's a lot of good series out there, but it's just not like my main focus. All right. Admin looks like he is barely winning it with 52% of the vote. Very, very close. Admin moves on. All right, Admin moving on. All right, now we are into the quarterfinals. Milspec Mojo versus 9-hole Josh. Now, Milspec Mojo is a fantastic shooter. Josh is also a fantastic handgun shooter. Which one is better? I actually don't know. I would actually be very interested, really very interested in having them running a competition against each other, like in a YouTube video. That would be really fun. Versus Mojo. But Mojo does, have that police background. Fantastic shooter. Short guy, stocky guy. Josh, normal-ish height. No, actually, I think is Josh a big guy? Am I crazy? Let's see here. Actually putting them on, we got Josh and then Mojo, who's right here. General Mojo. And if you're not familiar with Mojo's content, he doesn't do as much anymore. I really wish he would because his stuff is really good. And he's a fantastic shooter, just talking about basics and stuff like that. I think it'd be good for people. 704 Tactical versus the Yankee Marshall. That'd be an interesting matchup. Was Mojo a Marine? Yeah, Mojo was a Marine. Okay. So he's got more experience. But again, yeah, just as far as a shooting level, I think Josh is a little better. Josh, less annoying and without the Adderall. I think that's just normal Mojo. I think he's just a little hyper like that. Mojo's very fast. Very, very fast. Yep, his cold starts. His cold starts are good stuff. If you watch Mojo's cold start, which is just basically start of the day, you just get up and go. You do good. All physiognomy, bird-like features. True. Yeah, I think Mojo does definitely have the advantage here. But yeah, I haven't seen... they have done some pistol content recently, but not like... maybe not detailed enough to really get a good judge of how fast he is compared to Mojo, who is very fast. We need to have a Guntuber sellout bracket. Ooh, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Mojo is round, yes. He's like a regular human, just shrunk, right? Like 10%, so he just kind of squashed outwards a little bit. For sure. But I think we're going to have to end that one there with Josh from 9-hole. 9-hole had 2 entries, and they are now out. Milspec Mojo, 9-hole Josh. No. Milspec won. Milspec into the quarterfinals versus Hickok and Honest Outlaw. Interesting. Let me go ahead and get that one started. Start a poll. Let's see. Dude, vintage. Seriously, though. Oh, shoot. I just went back. Seriously, though, on that note of a Guntuber sellout live, what's the other guy that you guys have been going back and forth and somebody you guys want to talk live or something, but then he wants to have a moderator? Who was that guy you were going after? And then Reno made a thing about him as well. I forget his name. He's that guy who does like the ASMR type stuff. It's super lame. Hickok versus Honest Outlaw. If all else fails, you can throw the Olight on your pistol as a frag. Very true. Johnny Q, that's the guy's name. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, we should get you two guys on to talk things. That would be fun. Also, I'm a former army guy and cop. Half the people who have done any of these people, any of those people are seriously inept. Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah. I've also known police officers in the real world, and like you hang out with them and it's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's coming from me, who knows very little. It is Hickok versus Honest Outlaw. Boom, boom. Johnny Queer. I didn't say it. Bested by Mojo. Written me. Yeah, it was very close. It was very close. You need to do a response and like show how fast you are, just because I want to watch good shooting videos. So it's really just for me. Civilian tactical, first shot tactical, also Johnny Q. Shill sellout list would be fun. It would be fun. Do an ultimate shill event. That would be fun. But sometimes it's a little too mean to just to beat a dead horse and be like, these people are shills. It's like everybody knows, right? It's kind of like it's the running gag. Ooh, there we go. It should be who sold out the least. Oh, Leviathan Tribe's like an automatic out. Richard, if you want to reach out to Johnny Q, go ahead. Yeah, actually, that'd be fun. Go ahead and do that. Ugh. Johnny B. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I think Mojo has me on pistols. Good read by chat. Yeah, Mojo's really fast. Like he's fantastic, and he's got some experience. Hard to beat. I think Ben Stoger's the antidote. If Mojo was the disease. Honest Outlaw taking it with an easy 72%, which is actually, I think that's fair. They're both big guys. Honest Outlaw is Hickok 30 years ago, right? 40 years ago even, so that kind of makes sense. All right, moving on. We have Ziga versus Grand Thumb. All right, put that one up there for you guys. Get this stuff off of here. Mr. Thumb, where'd you go? And then Ziga is at the top. Lots of words that could get me in trouble just coming really fast, so I got to be very careful. Gary Swift for $10. Thank you very much, sir. He says, I know he's eliminated, but I love the way Mr. Guns and Gear smiles when he shoots. Yeah, I think Mike legitimately enjoys shooting, right? I think it is very fun. He gets a gun that he likes. He gets a gun that shoots well. I think he's going to have a good time with it, right? So I think that is genuine. I think a lot of people like seeing that sort of thing. Oh, no. Look up the NATO designation for the Soviet MiG-15. Fine. NATO. The Fago. I see. I think that's how you pronounce that. They it is the Fago. Hmm. Interesting. Maybe I should type in a voice for that, see how it's pronounced. Yes, Grand Thumb by TRT. Test and trend, baby. Now, let's see, what happened with Garantham? Nothing much happened with Garantham. I'm thinking, what direction should I take that joke? Or should I be like Mike and just spray it in all directions? Oh, there we go. It's pronounced Ziga. 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 Garantham is wearing camo, instant win. NATO designation for the Yankee Marshal. Yeah, it's a Fago. You know, so I was going to do a quick little video on the Beretta thing. So Beretta, if you guys don't know, they just launched some NFTs in 2024 when that trend died like 2 years ago. And I was going to make this whole joke about this guy named Iamo Fago, how he was their new marketing guy and he wanted to introduce these NFTs and coins and whatnot. And the entire time, of course, his name is Iama Fago, or I think that's how it's pronounced. Ziga wins by intact marriage. You know, if we were going to do that, that's a different list though. But I think that realistically, I think that Garantham would win in this scenario that we've crafted. So I'll go ahead and end it there. Garantham with 57% of the vote moves on to go up against Ben Stoger in the next match, because it is, of course, going to be Ben Stoger versus let me pull him up here, Admin, who's right there. And yeah, this is going to be another one. This is going to be another one of those that it's just Ben, right? Who wins? Yeah. Weekend Gunner says Ben Stoger got this one in the bag. I agree. Ben Stoger versus Admin. That's too much testosterone in one image on screen right now. Admin getting smoked immediately. The top Sigger smoked instantly. Stomp for the Stegosaurus. That's a good one. I like that. Mike's or Vintage says, "Hey bud, got a super chat." No, I didn't. You're lying to me, sir. Like fried shrimp, he's battered. We need more sheepdogs on the list. Too many jokes. I would like to imagine Admin's tactics would throw Ben off. I think Admin might be cracking some jokes while going through the house or the penthouse, which would be quite funny. And then Ben would be standing over him like, wow, guys, that's really suboptimal. I mean, you shouldn't have picked the 320. Like, what am I saying? Yeah, but Ben Stoger clears with 82% of the vote. Easy clear for Ben. Moving on. All right, semifinals. Milspec Mojo versus Honest Outlaw. Honestly, I didn't think that Honest Outlaw would get that far in the competition, but he's a good shooter. I think it's just having an easier bracket. And I think this is just going to be an instant win for Mojo. Mojo is just very, very good. Smaller hitbox as well. All right. Mojo, where'd you go? I always have trouble finding Mojo for some reason. All right. Yeah, what more is there to say about this one? This is a rough matchup for anyone going up against Mojo. Lucas Kuntz and Adam Kinzinger to the list, possibly. Tim Kennedy would work on this list. No, I kind of took out a lot of the former guys. Like at one point I had Travis Haley, I had Sean Ryan, but I kind of just pulled those guys back because they're not really YouTubers. Like Ben's not really a YouTuber, but he does upload consistent content. Yeah, well, I think there was Graham says that interesting how the votes have become more decisive as they go on. I think that earlier on you had a wider range, but then as things start to get narrowed down, you get like pretty clear who's going to win votes. So like Mojo's at 75 right now. I think Mojo was a heavy favorite in anything that he was in. I think that Ben has been a heavy favorite in anything that he's in. And Honest Outlaw barely beat a couple guys, was very, very close. Oh, is Tim Kennedy a YouTuber now? That's cringe. No, we took off Kentucky as well. Really, the only like pure entertainment guys that we had on the list were Demo and Brandon, but they both got outvoted almost immediately. Smaller hitbox, yeah. It is. It's the thing. It's a smaller hitbox, right? So Honest Outlaw is going to be pulling up, right? Looking for a target, nothing, right? And he has to look down, and Mojo's already shot him like 3 or 4 times, right? Sad. Jerry was robbed. Very true. Very true. But I think Mojo does easily clear that. Not necessarily easily, but he does win. All right, so he is into the semis. Oh, he's into the final. This is the final. I got it wrong. All right. Grantham versus Ben Stoger. Much the same that we've already discussed. I think this is going to make it very easy, but I do agree, actually. This is going to get really fast as you move into the final rounds because it just kind of becomes clear who people want to win and who is actually like top level. Oh, go away. There we go. All right. Let me go ahead and get this up in the chat. No, but I think it would be really cool. So let's talk about this as we're now near the end. I think it would be really cool to do something like this at one of the big meetups that people have, like not necessarily at the Iraq Veteran 8888 shoot, but a lot of people go to that to actually have like a course or a shoot house or something set up there and have like a tournament style thing go on. I think that would be really fun. GT goes to jail after this loss? I don't think so. I don't. All jokes aside, there's nothing illegal going on, right? It's just jokes. The Stegler strikes again. He can't cheat on this one. Oof. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Micah's an interesting guy. Ooh, that's good. Grantham is winning it all if he can do a 30-minute beforehand on how to camouflage yourself like an end table. That's right, urban camouflage. You guys remember that? They were doing the Seattle homeless stuff, and there was a guy with urban camouflage, and it was like just garbage, basically. Looked like a pile of garbage. Looked perfect. Oof. Grantham doesn't even get to his sponsored spot. Ouch. Ouch. Ooh, Grantham pre-TRT? You know, okay, so seriously though, on like you can watch his channel if you go back through the years. You can watch his neck grow sideways quite a bit, right? Because it's an anabolically sensitive area, your traps, your back, that sort of thing. And you can also tell the raspiness in his voice, probably something to do with some of the other things that might be going on that causes you to cough and whatnot. So you can tell his voice has gotten a little bit more raspy. And yeah, it's just his physiognomy has changed a little bit. His head shape has changed a little bit over the years. Just as a side effect of some things going on, which I'm not even putting a moral judgment on that. I'm just saying you can notice it, right? GT wasn't Special Forces. He was a SEER, which is search something, 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 and TAC P, which is like something else, right? I'm not specialized in any of this stuff, but I don't think it's what most people would technically consider to be special forces, but it is specialized for sure. He's still got that lisp though. The hairline, well, the hairline can be fixed with finasteride if you want to counteract TRT. Yeah. Seer instructor and specialist, not good for French penthouses. No. That's right. No. Yeah, no, it's not a joke that Grantham is on gear. He is on gear, but I'm just saying that you can actually like physically watch the changes happen to him over the years, right? I'm just saying, like, that's just, you can tell. Whether he admitted to it or not, you can just watch the progression physically, which is fine. All right, so Ben Stoger, 72% of the vote, will go ahead and end it there. Grantham defeated in the semifinals. Go ahead and move on here. Ben Stoger moves on to the final versus Mil-Spec Mojo. This is kind of what I was thinking when I was getting this list together. And if there were more top tier competition shooters who were doing like consistent YouTube videos, I could put more of them on the list. But I feel like Ben is one of the few guys that is at that level and also like puts out consistent content and good content, right? He's a funny guy. He's very sarcastic. He's very dry sense of humor, which I personally like. Very funny guy, well-spoken, excellent shooter. And he's been doing very, very well on this list. The Stegler, that's right. This one is tough. I think this one will be the closest one for Ben. But Mike on gear. May need to abstain. Chuck Pressburg. Yeah, Chuck Pressburg, I was there was a podcast that he did with on the primary and secondary with Hop and Brassfax. That's a good one to watch. And then he did a video with Brassfax called the offensive handgun, I want to say, going over some of those concepts. Some good videos to check out, especially if you got some time to kill. Let's be real here. If you're watching a 2-hour live stream of the Guntuber Deathmatch, you got some time to kill, which is fine. I greatly appreciate it. Are peptides considered gear? Definitely not to the same level. They don't have the same sort of like hormonal impact. I mean, if you're taking peptides to like help yourself recover in very specialized ways, I think that can be really effective. Unfortunately, a lot of them are illegal. I would say it's a different level. It's still like an artificial enhancement of some way. So if that's your definition of enhanced or gear or whatnot, then maybe. But still something to be very careful with. Shoot fast. Well, so ZC says shoot fast guy versus shoot fast guy with tactical experience. I think there needs to be a shoots incredibly fast versus shoots very fast, right? Mojo heads stand up. That's right. Is this more plates, more dates? No. I do watch a lot of more plates, more dates, though. Tyler Kess says, whoa, not illegal. Illegal for human consumption. That's right. I forgot. Why take peptides when SARMs exist? SARMs have nasty side effects. So I would not. Myself, I would never. Ben is, yeah, incredibly fast for sure. Yeah, Bouncer. I've been on one with them. I know. They've done several podcasts with primary and secondary. There's a 3-hour version on their Patreon if you want to go check it out with me, Hop and Brass. Ozempic. Well, Ozempic is like a appetite suppressant drug, right? My body, no choice. Oh, no, yeah, I don't care if you're doing this sort of stuff as long as you're taking care of yourself and your family, right? If you're like doing copious amounts of gear and you got kids at home, it's the same thing to me as if you're like an alcoholic father. It's like you're being stupid, right? And you're putting yourself above like people who are more important in that situation. But if you're just like, I want to get really jacked, I don't care. Go for it. Cool. But I think that settles it. With 60% of the vote, Mojo finally meets his match. Mojo ran out of Mojo against the Stoger, the Stegosaurus. Ben would probably be using some meme gear, maybe. Today we got a Turkesterone review, guys. It's not effective at all, and I wasted my money. I don't think you should buy it. Oh, look at my hair. Do you think I'm on gear, guys? Not possible. Suboptimal. You owe me a rate my gear next stream. Ben Steggy. Stegosaurus stops. I think he meant to say stomps, but yes. Yes, indeed. All right. So there was the bracket, guys. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. All right, so it started out. Jerry went through Blue Jean, then got stopped by Mojo. So Jerry, I thought, would go really far, but then he ran into Mojo. 9-hole Josh went really far, but then also ran into Mojo. Let's see, is there any other upsets in here? Hop lost to Honest Outlaw, but I think that is a fair loss. Henry lost to Hop, which is maybe an unfair loss to Henry, right? RGT bot beat X-Ring. I think that one there might also be unfair. I think X-Ring is actually a fantastic shooter. I already did pick winner, didn't I? Ben. Boom. Ben wins. Brass lost to Ben. Yep, that's going to happen. Warrior Poet lost to Ben. That's going to happen. Admin lost to Ben. That's going to happen. Then Grand Thumb loses to Ben. Also pretty normal. Another close matchup was Lucas versus John Lovell. Very good matchup. Grand Thumb versus Humble Marksman. Honestly, I think Humble should have beat Grand Thumb in that situation, for sure. Yep, that was the bracket, guys. I appreciate everybody showing up, hanging out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all enjoyed. Before you go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And with all of that out of the way, guys, I'll go ahead and we'll roll the intro one more time, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is probably like Friday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. But you guys have a great night. God bless.
I'm gonna fuck you up.